So hi everybody and welcome back to the C++ tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 52 and in this video we continue with our exercise and we stopped here at the point where I said I want to print all these arrays as a table, and there is a problem. I just used here, for example, a for loop. And this task is very easy. You just have to use this for loop and use stdc out a print statement and then write all the variable names, in this case all the arrays, here one after another, and that's it. But the problem here is the format. It looks a little bit not good, and we will not solve this really. We can solve it, but I tried a simple solution here just to add some new lines and spaces. You see, I just write here quotation mark and then space, 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 and then the product name, and then again space, 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 and then again the array name, and then space, space, space. And when we watch this, the result is something like that. Here with the words it works, but later it works not. The reason for that is with the words I just made here space and said I take the longest word 6, and then all the little words I added spaces to them. That's perfect. But the problem is we can't do this with numbers. We can't use spaces because it's not allowed. And there is another solution which you can do later. For example, here in the for loop you could go here in and check with a if statement if it's a number, that you add this spaces with this if check, which is a lot of work. You can do it, and this one would look very straight like these two lines. But I said in this case, yeah, we don't need it because we are more interested here first of all that this shop list is correct, because like I said, this one will be later probably converted to a graphical interface where and later they use anyway other tools, for example really tables and so on, where they already have all the tool set and they don't care about this alignment. Of course there are alignment tools as well which you can use as a programmer later, but in our case we say that's enough. But if you say you really want a nice list, you can do it. Like I said, you can add here some controls, so if statements to check if it's a number, and then add this manually to this list and it looks perfect. So, but what I want to do is here show you not this for loop, this one works, but I want to show you here the while loop. The same thing as a while loop, because I said we repeat here, and I said also a for loop is similar to a while loop. Let's see if I can print out the same thing as a while loop. So how a while loop starts again? It starts with a while, right? And then we have a condition. But here we have a difference to the for loop. We have to define a condition variable, right? And in our case, the condition variable is just the number, how many loops we want, and in this case 10. So I write here int condition number, or let's say a loop number, makes more sense, loop number, and I initialize it directly with 10. And so this one is needed for our loop condition, and in this condition we have to write now this condition, and we write the loop number, number, as long as it is less than 10, or no, yes, it is less than 10, this while loop should loop. And how it's looping? It is looping in this body again. So we have to write in this body two things. One, what we want to do, and one more thing, to increment this loop number, because this increment is not in the condition like in the for loop. This one we have to write here in the body, and we write it first this one, so we are sure we have it, loop number, and we learned here by the loop number that we can use the increment behind, or we can use it in front, and you should know what it means. So I use this one because I use this one. In this case, it's not very important, I think. I hope so. And if it's, we will see it as an error. But let's continue. You should know what it means if it's behind it and if it's below, in front. Let's repeat it. So if it's in front, it means it will increment first and then use the variable name. If it's behind, it uses the variable name and then it's incrementing. That's very important for certain circumstances, but that's it, all about it. And if you use it right, there is no problem. So we have that. So let's continue. And what is that what we have to do? Actually, we just print out all the stats, and let me show you how it looks like without the spaces, what I made here. So you can just write here, for example, the product name, and here we have a problem, right? And we have here not a I or something, but I want loop through this arrays too in a while loop, because in a for loop it was all time like this, that you just could use this variable included here. But here we have also a variable, but not a short one, which means this one, can we use that? Actually, this one is right now 10, which was wrong initialized again from me. I have to write a 0. Now it makes a little bit more sense. And here is an arrow. Yeah, not an arrow. Now it makes sense, because if I initialize it with 10, what I did, that would not make even a sense here what I wrote, but right now it makes a sense. It starts with 0. As long as it's less than 10, we increment it, and we can use this variable now. Now it's useful, loop number, because it's 0 and we want slot 0. We want start with slot 0. Perfect. And okay, now we print out all things what we have. And let's do this fast for the other ones too. Product name we have, product price, the price one. And let me copy this one here. So I don't, the whole thing perhaps. So I don't have to type this all time again and again. And yeah, and let's do this for the other ones too fast. Here we have the product sold amount, and paste this one. And we jump to the next line and go on. And product sold amount, why it says a problem here. Let's see. Product sold amount. It says that we have a problem here. Because we have not used this one here. Yes, that's a problem. That's a big problem. And then let's see what I have here. The last name is the calculated price. Let's write here calculated price and paste this one here. And that should be it. Right? And when I start now this one, I uncomment this one because I want not use, I want to see what happens with my new created while loop. Control CAS and C for commenting, deactivating the code. And we start and see what we did so far. And you see we have something which is looking strange. And the reason for that one is I have not a new line. So let's include this new line probably too. Makes a little bit sense. At start, can do this and make here a new line. Why not? And here. So let's start this again. And when we watch this one, yes, we have something like an output. But when we watch this one, is this right? That looks wrong. Anyhow, that looks wrong. I have here TV, that's cool. Let's see. I have TV, then it should 200, then the amount is 1, and the calculated price is, it's not wrong, it's actually right, it is just bad formatted. Right, what I mean with format is all the spaces what I have here made it readable, and in this case it's not really readable. And why it's still here, here is even missing one space, that's why. So when I add this space 2, now it should be more correct. And you see, oops, it says I made a mistake, which means I have messed here up. Yes, I made 2, I need only 1. Save this and start this. So now we have this, and you see the format looks like this if you have not used any format here. And yeah, it works, we can use it. So at start, it's not wild if it's look like this. And we have done the for loop, the while loop. You see, we repeated it. It's working with the while loop too. But if you want, of course, use the formatted version. So I delete just this one and I just copy the format which I have here, because it's the same. That's the nice thing about that. I got here, I paste this in, I uncomment this one. Control KU, it's for uncommenting. And if you see, it's not really, we have to keep this format here and here perhaps so, and save. And now run it one more time. And you see, oops, we have an error. What I did again. Yeah, the problem is I have to change the I, and I made exactly the mistake which I told you in other videos. When you copy something, look all time careful. Oh, what is going on? Look all time careful that you change the variables which should be changed, and I did it not because I wanted make fast, and you see what happens. We make fast an error. Actually, it was more than one error here because I had to change all of them. And now start this one more time. And you see, this is the for loop format like before, only converted in a while loop. So, and this here formatting, if you make here some if statement, that would work too. So that was for this part. We are almost finished, but not really. We have big problems here. And all time, don't forget, when I say problems, I mean we have to solve tasks to solve. And what is that, what we have to solve? I have made this for 1 month, and I have not generated random numbers for the other months for this product. So we have create now the other months and create here random numbers, and then this should be calculated then accordingly and printed out for the other months too. So that's the plan for the next videos which we are going to do. And yeah, I hope it makes sense so far and you have a better solution than me, because mine looks a little bit, yeah, so. And important is that you understand all what you do, that we repeat all and train all the keywords, the structures and so on. And yeah, with that said, see you in the next, and good luck.